Yeah, see. What is wrong with this Sadako? Hello? All right, so this match review is from Applesauce, who hangs out with us all the time. Homie sent in a survivor match instead of a killer match, which is interesting. First time doing that. For the YouTube.
Yep. Now let's get into this match.
Yeah, there you go. Hours not listed. Make sure that when you guys are submitting you are listing your hours as well, because if it gives me a good context of why you do certain things. That way I know that, you know, hey, well, I shouldn't expect this play out of you because you're only 200 hours, or, you know, you're at 5,000 hours. You should definitely be doing this play. Kind of gives me context, so make sure you're not forgetting that. Also, if you want to submit your own match for review, the link will always be down in the description below on YouTube. For you guys on the Twitch, #match review brings up the link to submit your own matches. So, yeah, let's go ahead and look at this. I believe it's on Gideon, the meatpacking plant. So let's go ahead and take a look. Right, so it's you as Dwight on the game. You have a pretty good build. Any means is kind of like your only like fun perk that is like quote unquote suboptimal. Everything else is pretty good. So it's against a Sadako. I'm gonna have to listen to those jingles all match, huh? So when you have a long wall tile like this, the correct way to so whenever you're running a tile, you gotta essentially threaten the killer with things they don't want to deal with, and that being windows and pallets, which you see on Windows Opportunity. Windows and pallets. Killers are afraid of windows and pallets because they don't want to swing and hit the window and look embarrassed, and they also don't want to get hit by the pallet stun. So you take the right move here by running and taking the long wall vault, which is very good, but your route should not be to circle back around to the vault again. It should be to go through the pallet side, because all you're going to do here by going around this is medium vault and get hit. And I feel like you realize that here is like you're not going to be able to make that long wall vault again, so you just kind of like start wandering off to the right, but realistically you could have just like ran through the pallet. And even if you don't plan to drop it, she might hesitate because she thinks you will. So you should have ran through the other part of the structure, the other resource, instead of, you know, deciding to try to loop the same part of the tile over and over. So make sure that you're utilizing all resources in a tile instead of just, you know, the one. Yeah, see. What is wrong with this Sadako? Hello? How? Literally, that was the freest hit on the planet. Hello? How did she miss this? You can't even say she's running out dead hard because you're healthy. What? How? Literally how? You got so lucky there. So lucky. Yeah. Yeah, she like, don't stare at him. That was you being silly, you goober. Holy moly. You got so lucky there. That was all her and not you. Very good. So, as a general rule of thumb, if you're trying not to be wasteful with pallets, throw them preferably when you're injured and not when you're healthy. There are notable exceptions like Oni and stuff like that where, you know, denying their first hit as long as possible is more beneficial for the rest of the match. Or like Spirit's another good example because Spirit can phase on you and down you pretty quickly once you're injured, so keeping yourself healthy makes sense. But besides specific character matchups, usually, just a general rule of thumb, it's better to throw pallets while you're injured than while you're healthy. Good job keeping awareness of where she's at and looking behind you. See your red stain disappear. You double back. Good. Good, good, good. Well, they would have been dead either way, Matt. If they had kept running, they would have been dead. It was a little bit of an execution error, but like they would have died if not. Because right now they just, well, they're about to buy 2 gens for the whole team, so it's worth it to race that resource. So that's an important thing. Is you gotta, especially now with the survivor run, you can see how much it's important to either greed or drop pallets now, because in Apple's case, Apple saw 2, possibly 3 gens being worked on. It ended up being two people on the same gen, but saw 2, possibly 3 gens being worked on. So if Apple can buy enough time for those 2 or 3 gens to get completed, that's valuable for the team, right? Because the longer that they are in chase together, the more time the team has to work on generators. So if you see like the progress of a gen almost done like this, right? Maybe you'd be a little bit more wasteful because, you want to buy time for that gen to actually go through and actually get completed, right? So when you see people like nearing close to completing gens, it's worth it to be a little bit more wasteful. But if, there's no reason to be wasteful. Like you look over here on the left of the HUD and nobody's even on a generator because it's like, well, I'm not going to buy enough time for them to get it done, Very good waiting for her. Now, if she was smart, she would have doubled back now that that window was, blocked off. Running the tile wrong, she is. Yep, see? You're being a little bit more wasteful, and now Jane has the second gen done. Yep. Yeah, okay, don't do that. I know it's funny to BM, but don't do that. You should have been already at this pallet or up to this pallet. Like, it's funny to be like, haha, stupid killer, but, like, you're losing speed when you do that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're losing speed, you're losing distance, and it's just stupid. It's just dumb. Don't do that. Like, it's just completely inefficient. If this is a match review and you're talking about, things I need to tell you to be a better, more efficient, just drop the BM. Drop it entirely. Just make the distance. Make the distance. Why was Lisa in the basement? Why was Lisa in the basement? See, she made the mistake there. She shouldn't have dropped this. There was no reason for her to drop this. She should have just got hit and then taken the speed burst to go next. She didn't need to waste that pallet. That's the opposite example. Like, she was healthy, and she did not need it all to waste that. Especially such a god pallet like that, that's like completely blocking off an entire area. Yeah, that was silly. You guys should split up, but not stay together. Okay, she still wants you, so yeah, keep running. So I have a question. You have dead hard. Why are you throwing so many pallets now? Flip side question, right? So 2 gens are done, right? And they just now started another gen, and they look like they're on the same one based on the progress, but it's hard to tell right now. Why are you throwing pallets without your dead hard? Because your dead hard, in a sense, is another health state. It's another, pallet drop, so to speak. Why are you specifically throwing the resources and not using your dead hard? Is there a reason for that? Because unless there's a really, really good one that I can't think of, I would be throwing these pallets after I've used my dead hard. You get paranoid about dead hard not working? Well, that's not, I don't mean this to rude, right? That's a skill issue, right? Like, I get it too, because I'm not the best at dead hard either, but it really is a skill issue, right? Like, you could get dead hard to a point where you're hitting it like 90% of the time. I watch people do it all the time. Fire, who's in here all the time, she like never misses her dead hard. She misses her dead hard like once out of every 10 attempts. Like, you can get better at that perk. You really can. So wasting all these resources when you haven't used your dead hard yet, which is a resource that's specifically yours, whereas the rest of these resources are supposed to be for everyone, it's a little selfish. It's a little selfish, and based on how badly she's chasing, you will probably be able to get away with it, but a good killer, this dead zone that you're creating by throwing all this will come back to hurt you later. Against a good killer, this would hurt you a lot to create this big of a dead zone on this side. So make sure that you're using like your exhaustion perks to try and, preserve your resources a little better. You should have dropped... This Sadako should have dropped this chase a long time ago. Should have went after the Lisa, who clearly didn't know what she was doing. I don't know why she's still chasing you. This is an error on the killer's part. She's messing up. Okay, she finally realized, but, like... 2 gens are gone. 3. It's about to be 3. So he made this decision way too late. Way too late. And she's still gonna come back to you. This is not the right play. What is she doing? What is she doing? Respectfully, what is she doing? Huh? What? Once again, wasting pallets when you have Dead Hard up. Once again, you didn't win this match. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. You didn't win this match. You didn't win this match. She beat herself. I'm being 1000% honest. I'm not saying that to hurt your feelings. You are facing a terrible killer. No offense to that player. She is dog. She is fucking awful. You didn't outplay her. She's just fucking terrible. God bless her. Hope she's still improving. Hope she's learning. Hope she's trying to improve. This match review should be for her. You shitting on a random player who's dog shit at the fucking game. Like, I need to be match reviewing her. I need to help her. You're doing the bare minimum and it's kicking her ass. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. I need to be match reviewing for her. You know how to drop pallets on a map that has tons and tons of pallets everywhere. She needs the help. Small thing, don't do this. Don't ever do this. The point of Circle of Healing is so you can heal yourself to save time for the team. Because Lisa could be on a gen somewhere getting gen progress done in the time she's spending healing you. Especially with Sloppy Butcher. The whole point of Circle of Healing is that you can self-heal yourself. So other people can be unoccupied. And this isn't you. This is everybody. Everybody freaking does this, and it's so stupid. Is they'll put up Circle of Healing and then go heal together in the boon. It's like, homie, the point of Circle of Healing is so you can heal independently. Why do we keep coming to the Circle of Healing boon to heal together when the whole point of the perk is to heal independently? Stop doing it. Quit it. Stop. Really defeats the purpose. She doesn't have a single hook yet. If this wasn't the game, you'd lose. If this wasn't the game, you'd lose. You were being incredibly wasteful of pallets. That is my spoiler number 1 takeaway. You are incredibly wasteful of pallets. Incredibly wasteful. You need to preserve your pallets more. With Dead Hard up? With Dead Hard up, you're wasting all these pallets still. You gotta save your pallets more. You're lucky this killer is as bad as she is, or else you would have created a dead zone across the entire... What happened? Let's say she hands off the controller to her brother, right? Mid-match. She hands the controller off to her brother, who actually is like a 4K hour killer main. After this next hooks happens, look at windows. Where are the pallets? Like, look, just this direction. Like, out into the ether. Where are the pallets? Where are they? You've thrown them all. You've thrown them all. There's nothing back here. Mid-match, she hands the controller to her brother. Your team starts dying over here. If they chase over here at all, they lose. Easy chases. Drop, 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 drop. Everything's dead. You have wasted most of this map. And it's working out because the killer's bad. But this is a bad habit. Especially when you have Dead Hard on. You should be using your Dead Hard to save these resources. And it's just only working out because she's bad. Once again, you're wasting time BMing. You're wasting time BMing. I want you to think about this, like what you're doing right here. The next time you're mad that a survivor's BMing you. The next time that, because you've told me before, you're like, I have awful matches and the survivors are mean to me. You're doing the exact same thing back to them. I want you to think about that next time you're in that situation. You also don't loop pallets, I've noticed. Like, once you drop them, you just kind of, like, run away. Yeah, you also don't loop pallets. Once you drop them, you kind of just, like, vacate the premises. Try to get some loops out of them, too. Yep. I'm curious, from your perspective, why did you send me this? Genuinely curious, why did you, what was your rationale behind sending me this? Review wins? Yeah. What did you want me to tell you here? You bullied somebody who clearly wasn't that good by not even doing anything, like, honestly that exceptional, and forced them to DC. What do you want me to tell you? Yeah, there wasn't really any exceptional play there besides pre-dropping safe pallets. You didn't even use your dead hard. You didn't loop any of the said pallets. And you know, that's the one takeaway. First takeaway that I will give you, you're incredibly wasteful with pallets. While having such a strong perk like dead hard up, where you literally have an extra health state, there's no reason to be as wasteful with pallets as you are. Try to save pallets more for when, you know, you're... Like, you gotta understand that pallets are a team resource. They're for everyone. They're for everybody. And if she had gotten you hooked at, like, 4 or 3 gens, and you had wasted that many pallets across that side of the map, that would have been... If anybody else had chased on that side of the map at all, that would have been game over. No pun intended. That would have been game over. Because the chases on that end of the map would have been, like, really, really easy. Really, really easy. So, you're lucky that she was this bad. You were lucky that she was this bad. Because this would not have worked out this way. Second takeaway, don't waste time BMing. BMing is quite literally a time waster. It just is. Like, there's no other way to put that. Like, no other way to put that. BMing is just quite literally a time waster. That's all it is. You're sitting there, like, you can say it's like, well, it does psychological damage. Like, this isn't D&D. You didn't do psychological damage. You're just wasting time. Go to the next pallet. Go to the next window. Go to the next resource. Yeah. Go to the next resource, right? That way you can actually, like, you know, continue a more efficient chase. That had a better killer than BMs. No, it's not that, like, I want you to only face good killers. It's just, like, the point of match reviews is for me to be able to, like, help. Like, what can I do better? What can I improve on? And, you, like, pre-dropping against somebody who clearly is either new to the game or just not good. Like, what is the takeaway? You know? Yeah, BM is bad manners. So, like, teabagging, taunting every single time you, like, stun them, stuff like that. Like, BMing. Yeah, I think this is a good teachable moment. Just for the match review series in general, is like this. I feel like there's been, yeah, out of the 4 match reviews I have done, well, 5, yeah, out of the 5 match reviews I've done so far, only 2 of them have been losses. I'm not saying that a match review specifically has to be a loss, because honestly, there's been plenty of matches that have been submitted that, like, are barely clutched. And I'm like, okay, well, this is why this match was so difficult for you. This is why you barely got it, right? That's fine. But I've been seeing people kind of submitting, and there are some I've deleted outright, where they just played they played a good match, they 4K'd, they barely made mistakes, and it's like, what did you want me to review there? What did you want me to review there? So, just as, like, just a series forecast, just for future submissions, if you just, like, completely stomp the other side, what am I supposed to tell you, right? Like, if you genuinely just stomp the other side and the purpose of these is for me to help you improve, I can't help you. I can't help you. Send me a match where you barely won, or you barely lost, or you really got your kicked in. Send me stuff like that, because that I can actually give you direction, right? That I can actually give you direction, and that I can actually, like, help you improve. Seeing a match like this where you just pre-dropped a lot of pallets and forced a killer that was clearly inexperienced to DC, there's nothing for me to teach here. There's not a whole lot for me to tell you. The other thing, people probably want to show off or get comments for you live as opposed to getting genuine criticism, and I'm okay with that, right? I'm okay with that. I love, like, I love doing both. I love going, well played, good job. Like, at the beginning of this, I was like, what? Okay, now you're injured. Now you're buying time for the gens, because, you know, a bunch of gens are about to proc, to pop, rather. There's a lot of gens that are about to pop. You're being a little bit more wasteful of pallets to buy time for them, which is good. Then I found out you're just kind of wasteful of pallets in general, which is not great, but, you know, that was a good play, and I liked complimenting the good play there. But if 90% of the match is good plays, there's nothing to take away there, right? There's nothing to take away. For example, this is a side tangent. That probably won't be in the YouTube video. That Wraith match we played today, I split pressured when there was more than one medkit in the match, and they had circle up. I didn't know they brought circle until, like, midway, but I did a lot of split pressure early in the match when I saw multiple medkits. That was a misplay, and that match was very close. And if I was reviewing my own match, I'd say saw multiple medkits, probably shouldn't have went for the split pressure. That's why that match was so hard for me. But if I had just, like, you know, dumpstered him and, you know, beat him up, and then I 4K at 4 gens, like, what am I? You did good. Like, what do you want me to say? You know. My worst killer spirit? Yeah, just send me things that you actually aren't confident in. Things that you want to actually improve on. That way I can actually help you. Because this doesn't necessarily let me help you very much. You know? And I'm not saying this to you to, like, dog you, because this is kind of just like a broadcast for everybody who sends in the match reviews. Is like, I can help you more if you have the pride, or the, you know, if you have the humility, rather, not the pride. Pride is the problem. If you have the humility to be like, okay, well, I really, you know, hit the bed. How do I fix this? How do I not be in this situation again, right? Because it's not even just for you, because when these go up on the YouTube, other people will see this and they go, oh, wow, okay, that's the thing I'm doing wrong, right? Maybe I shouldn't take chases in really, really strong structures. So, like, oh, okay, that's how I will improve. This is not just me helping you, but this is me helping everybody. Like, people will watch this both here on the Twitch and on the YouTube and be like, oh, okay, well, that's a flaw that I have that I shouldn't be repeating. And when you just send me something of you just, like, dumpstering someone, that takes that away from everybody. You know? Watch some Nurse play without getting motion sick? Yes, I'm better at watching Nurse than I am, like, actually playing it. Like, when I'm in the driver's seat, it's a little, it makes me pretty nauseous. But, like, you know, as long as the streamer's not, like, a Nurse main, I can watch, like, 2 or 3 Nurse matches and be fine. You were about to ask? That's what you were about. So I was about to get to you with you asking the question. Yeah, I can watch Nurse for, like, 2 or 3. Like, it's different when I'm not in the driver's seat. When I'm actually doing it, it makes me pretty nauseous right away. But, like, if I'm like, if I'm watching it, obviously if I'm feeling a little nauseous, I can just, like, look away for a second, right? Because, like, it's not going to cost me the match to look away because I'm not the one playing. You know, like, I can kind of manage it a little bit better. So if you want to send me Nurse matches, you're more than welcome to. It's definitely more when I'm physically the one playing when that's an issue. Whereas I can kind of manage it better outside of it. So you can definitely send Nurse reviews. Yeah, TLDR. Send me things that actually help me help you and not people just dumpstering. Yeah.